Hello boys and girls, this is Mr. Bedley and today we're on 4th grade lesson 30. We're going to be learning mostly about symmetry, oops, almost crossed it out there, and a little bit about reading measuring devices. So the first thing that before we get started, I've got a little joke for you. Here's the joke and then you'll have to stay tuned till later in the show to find out the answer. What do you call a fake noodle? What do you call a fake noodle? So stay tuned and you'll find out the punchline. A line of symmetry, it says, is an imaginary line. That means it's not really there. You just have to picture it being there, which divides a figure in half. If you were told to fold the figure along the line of symmetry, the sides would line up exactly. The two halves would be mirror images of each other. These figures show one or more lines of symmetry. So here we have a picture of a sun. If I were to fold this sun right here, this side would come over and match up perfectly with the side over there. That is a line of symmetry. This shape actually has a ton of lines of symmetry, not just that one, but that is a line of symmetry. There are many other lines of symmetry. Let me back up a little bit here. Well, here's another one. You could go like this way, right along there. You'd actually go between the little triangles and have lines of symmetry. So you have basically a line of symmetry for every single triangle coming across, and then in between every triangle going all the way around. So there are something like, I don't know, 16 different lines of symmetry or something like that, 12 different lines of symmetry on that first shape. This next one only has one line of symmetry on the smiley face. If I fold it right down the middle here, the edge of that smile is going to line up with the edge of that smile. That eyeball is going to line up with that eyeball. It's going to line up perfectly. Now if I fold it this way, that's not a line of symmetry because you can see there's no mouth over here on this side that it would line up with. The rectangle, this one fakes a lot of kids out. Most people can tell that this is a line of symmetry if you fold that over like that. This corner and that corner there are going to match up, and this corner and that corner are going to match up. Also, if I fold it across this way, then this corner is going to match up with that corner, and that corner is going to match up with that corner. Now, some people think that, let me do some erasing on there, some people think that a diagonal line across it like this. Now let's take a look at some shapes. These are not on your actual paper there. I just want you to look at the video and try to figure out where the lines of symmetry would be on these different shapes that you see here. We'll start with this one. Pause the video and then turn it back on when you think you know where the line or lines of symmetry are on that shape. Alright, you should have already thought this through, and that is not a line of symmetry because this curve is quite different than that curve. This is not a line of symmetry either. If you look at that, that's pretty different from that there. So there really are no lines of symmetry on this shape here at all. Okay, pause the video and try this green oval. See how many you can find on that. Alright, so you should have discovered that there are two lines of symmetry on here. One right about there, where this top little piece is going to match up with that bottom piece. And then if I fold it down the middle, it's another line of symmetry. This side matches up with that side. Alright, the star is pretty tricky. Go ahead and pause the video. Turn it back on when you're ready to see what the different lines of symmetry are on the star. Alright, you should have found actually 5 of them. They kind of go, I picture this being like a person. Here's the face up here, here's a foot, here's a foot, here's an arm, here's an arm. And so you like split it right down here, and this arm matches up with that arm, that foot matches up with that foot, and then the face gets split right in the middle. And a lot of times when you're trying to find lines of symmetry, it helps if you turn the shape so that you're more facing on straight onto it. So like the direction we're looking at this now, you can see that that's a line of symmetry, but the other ways you might not see it. So spin your device around and you'll see that this is a line of symmetry. It's exactly like the last one I just showed you. And then there's one there, and there's one there, and there's one there. There's actually 5 different lines of symmetry. Alright, pause the video and try the triangle down there. So on this one, kind of similar to the last one where we kind of split it down through the head and then down that way, and then if you spin the shape, you'll be able to see that these are exactly the same. That's an equilateral triangle. Alright, pause the video and then try this tan colored shape, or peach colored, whatever that is. So you should have figured out that there's one line of symmetry on that right down through the middle there. Okay, this hexagon is pretty tricky. There's quite a few lines of symmetry on that. So pause the video, kind of give it a shot, take your finger and run it along the screen and think about where you would draw the lines of symmetry before you see what I tell you. That way you learn more. So you should have already figured this out, and we have a line of symmetry that goes right down here. And since I can draw one there, you can see I've got three sides and three sides that match up perfectly. I can also do it at all the other spots where you have corner to corner. And the other way to do it, if you turn your device, if you're on a device, is right down through there. I've got like half of a side, two full sides, and another half a side that match up perfectly with the other half of that. So we can do that in 3 different places. And that's a total of 6 lines of symmetry. Let's take a look at the next page. It has these lines done a little bit cleaner for you. So this is what it looks like, what I just went over with you, but you might want to stop the video and take a closer look at those lines of symmetry. All right, now we're going to look at different kinds of measuring devices and reading those. Our first one is a scale. It's measuring pounds, and it gives you the example here. It's kind of like reading a clock. You got 5, 10, 15, 20. The arrow is pointing right here, which is between the 15 and the 20. So my answer has to be between 15 and 20. It's a good idea to stop and think about that before you pick an answer. And then if I go to the 15 and move over 2 dots, I get to the answer right there. So the answer is 17, 15, 16, 17. Pause the video. Why don't you try these last 2 problems and then turn it on when you're ready to see those solutions. All right, so you should have already done that. And before I give you the solutions to that, I'm going to give you the solution to today's riddle. So the riddle was, what do you call fake noodles? And you call fake noodles an impasta. You get it? Impasta, like imposter. An imposter is someone who impersonates someone else or who acts like them. And pasta, of course, is like noodles, so it's an impasta. Okay, anyway, number 2, we've got the arrow going between the 25 and the 30. I can start counting at 25 and go to each one of these after. 25, 26, 27, 28. So this is 28 right there, 28 inches. And then on this one, the big lines are the 5s, so that's 65 there, 70 there, and 75. And you can see that the thermometer goes up 2 more. The mercury in the thermometer goes up 2 past the 70, which is 72. And it says that little thing stands for degrees. So that's like your label. So when you write degrees of something, and it could be degrees of an angle or degrees of temperature, if you write 63 degrees, you got to put that little tiny circle up there. And then the temperatures can be measured in Fahrenheit or Celsius. Centigrade is used sometimes instead of the word Celsius. But either way, you're going to have to put a label of either F on any of your temperature measurements, or if it's 26 degrees Celsius or centigrade, then put that C down there as your label. Make sure you match that up when you get to consensus. So thanks so much for watching. You have a wonderful day.